Hallo, liebe Klasse! So this video is going to be a very quick review of verbs with separable and inseparable prefixes. The video is going to be primarily in English because it is going to be a primarily grammar video, just like the grammar sections in Venda are mostly English. So if you will open your books to pages 364 and 365 in Venda, these two pages are going to be very, very helpful for you. Now, if you'll recall, last week we began studying verbs with separable prefixes, and I just want to do a little review. One of the verbs that we worked with was ankommen. And was bedeutet kommen? Kommen bedeutet to come. Aber was bedeutet ankommen? As you guys probably already have noticed, because you all memorize your vocabulary super fast, ankommen means to arrive. So we can tell that the prefix is really important because it changes the ending. So now what I want us to do is learn how to form a sentence with separable prefixes, keeping in mind the correct word order. Now, I shouldn't say learn, I should say review, because we have learned this already, so hopefully this will all come back to you very quickly. So looking at your list of verbs with separable prefixes on page 364 in Venda, let's go down the list a little bit and use some of those. So ankommen, what is the prefix and what is the verb, the main verb? It is kommen is the main verb and an is the prefix. Good. So now when we're writing the sentence with ankommen or speaking the sentence with ankommen, all we have to do at first, if this is easier for you, is just pretend like there is no prefix. So let's just take kommen. So we want to say, I arrive in California. Let's just do that. I arrive in California. And we are not using the prefix. So we're just going to use kommen as our verb. Begin with your subject, ich, and then that's first position, so what goes in second position? The verb. Ich komme. Then we want to say in California. Ich komme in Kalifornien. And then we're done. Almost. Now we add on that prefix we took off and put it at the end of the clause. Ich komme in Kalifornien an. That's all we have to do. So when you see a separable prefix verb, you have some steps to follow. First, you identify the prefix. Then you write the sentence as normal without the prefix. And then you stick the prefix on the end of the clause. Let's practice with some more separable prefix verbs. For example, how about the verb that we've used actually before in class, Fernsehen. Was bedeutet Fernsehen? Fernsehen bedeutet to watch TV. So, Fernsehen, what is the prefix here in this verb? The prefix is fan. So now let's just pretend like fan doesn't exist for a moment. We're going to say, he watches TV. So what goes in first position? The subject, er. And what goes in second position? The conjugated verb, sieht, sieht. And then, well, we seem to be done. But we need to add on that prefix. So, sieht fern. Okay, let's do a couple more. How about the word aufräumen? So we want to say, they are picking up their room. They're cleaning up their room. Okay, so first position, subject. What will we put in the first position? Sie, they. Good. Now we need to take the main part of the verb, which is räumen. So we need to conjugate it and put it in second position. Sie räumen, and then their room. How would you say that? Sie räumen ihr Zimmer. And we're almost done. Now we need the prefix. Sie räumen ihr Zimmer auf. Okay, so not so terribly difficult, right? Let's do one last one. Okay, towards the end of that list on page 364, you're going to see some rather long prefixes. For example, Zurückkommen. Now, what is the prefix there? The prefix is zurück. We know that because we've already learned the word zurück, and we've already learned the verb kommen, so we can tell that those are just two words put together. In this case, zurück is not an adverb, but rather a prefix. So, this sentence will be formulated the same way. I come back at 2 o'clock. How would we say this? So subject first, ich, then verb, ich komme, then anything else that goes in the sentence, so at 2 o'clock. Ich komme 2 Uhr, and then we add on our prefix. Ich komme 2 Uhr zurück. Yay! Hopefully that wasn't too difficult. Now, we're just going to do a really quick review of inseparable prefix verbs. Now, you might wonder why I said review, because I haven't ever mentioned inseparable prefix verbs before. However, we have been using them this whole semester. You guys just didn't realize it, maybe. Or maybe you did. So, just like in English, there are some verbs in German that have prefixes, but they don't change, change positions or come at the end of any clauses. For example, you can see on page 365, there's a list. You'll see inseparable prefix verbs like, or it might still be 364, but in that area. You'll see beginnen, empfehlen, bestellen, gehören. We've used all those verbs before. Was bedeutet beginnen? To begin. Was bedeutet empfehlen? To recommend. Was bedeutet bestellen? To order. Was bedeutet gehören? To belong to, and we're going to use that verb with the dative case, right? So we've used these verbs plenty of times before, and nothing was special about them really. The only thing that the textbook and I want you guys to recognize is that they do have prefixes. So beginnen. Be is a prefix, but you don't have to move it around anywhere. I began. I begin. If we just want to say I begin. Ich beginne. We don't say ich ginne. Ich beginne. Don't change the word order. The waiter recommends fish to the man. Der Kellner empfiehlt dem Mann Fisch. Just like that. Empfiehlt. We don't change anything, although it is an irregular verb. Bestellen. I order the soup. Ich bestelle die Suppe. So these ones aren't really anything new. But on pages 364 and 365, you can find lists of common separable prefixes and common inseparable prefixes. So once you become more familiar with these prefixes, you'll know automatically. If the verb has a prefix like an, or auf, or zurück, or wieder, then you know those are going to be separated. But if the verb has a prefix like bestellen, or gehören, or empfehlen, or verlieren, those prefixes are not going to be separated. Okay, so you guys have some homework. I want you guys to complete Seite 366, Übung B und C. So page 366, Activity B and Activity C. Und 369, Seite 369, die ganze Seite. So the whole page on 369. Your quiz 6 will be on Tuesday. Don't forget, your quiz 6 will be on Tuesday. So this is the quiz that will replace your lowest quiz grade. However, the reason I made this video is because I want you guys to be aware that there will be some separable and inseparable prefix verbs on your quiz. So make sure you do these homeworks, turn them in, and practice, and email me right away if you have any questions. It's Thanksgiving, but I'll probably still be checking my email as much as ever, so send me an email. Alright, good luck, and have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Bye, tschüss!